Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna speak about Dan Rafael absolutely cooking Ryan Garcia on Twitter over the PED situation that he had, a year or so back against Devin Haney. We're gonna speak about Jake Paul sparring AJ's boy Lawrence Okolie and a few other top tier heavyweight contenders in the division. Then, of course, I'm gonna open the platform up for some open boxing talk. You feel what I'm saying? But before we get into that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark. About to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. What's going on? What's going on? How we feeling, y'all? How we feeling? I had to skip the gym today, man. I was absolutely exhausted. Woo-wee. That was exhausted, man. It's surprising how much better you can feel with just a little bit of rest, man. Prioritize y'all rest, man. Don't be burning yourselves out, being workaholics and all that good shit, man. Prioritize y'all rest, especially when you getting up in age. You feel me? That's for sure. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna let a few of y'all get in here. I'm assuming they ain't sending out my notifications, but it is what it is. We're gonna make it do what it do regardless. You feel me? It's all about consistency. That's what it takes to get to the top, right? Yes, sir. Let's see. We're gonna put this on sub only mode. Kenny Manso, what up, brother? All is well, thank God. Thank God. Salute. Bad Boom Balloon, what up, brother? I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. How you feeling? I could be tripping. Let me know. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes, man. We got 7 people in the building. Let's get 7 likes, man. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. You feel me? That's good. That's good, man. We got some things that we need to discuss, man. I really want to, lock in on the Jake Paul sparring situation. You know what I mean? Because where's the loyalty at? Where's the code? Where is the code, man? Because I just can't seem to get that out of my mind. Y'all told Boots that he went against the code by sparring Canelo for Terrence Crawford, and y'all criticize Boots for that. But here comes another example. We had a few examples since then. You know what I mean? Shakur sparring Jake Paul for Gervonta Davis. You know what I mean? It was a few different situations. But now, more recently, Lawrence Okolie, somebody who was under Anthony Joshua's management team at one point in time, said that he was like a mentor to him. He helping Jake Paul get ready for Anthony Joshua? Wow. Absolutely insane. We're going to talk about this, y'all. I can't wait. I cannot wait because the energy is never the same. The energy is never the same, man. This is crazy. You say you be out and about. Oh, all right, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up. Enjoy your life, man. Enjoy your life. I got some motherfucking Hawaiian rolls right next to me. I'm trying not to look at them. You know what I'm saying? This nigga said Jake Paul by decision? Oh, man. Jake Paul by decision. I feel like AJ round 1 KO is too good to be true. Well, he got 8 rounds to KO Jake Paul. Listen, if he can't knock dude out at 8 rounds, AJ's stock gonna go down the drain. And I don't want to hear nothing about him having to lose weight. I don't want to hear nothing about him not having enough time to prepare. Like, bro, that's Jake Paul, bro. Like, it's Jake Paul. Like, we don't see anything when we look at Jake Paul. We won't be looking at him and be like, yo, this motherfucker like a prime Rigondeaux. This nigga like Floyd. Like, yo, he like the second coming of Purnell. Like, no. No, not at all. Jake Paul is very basic in my opinion. Got some good power, but, skills is okay. but nothing that Anthony Joshua hasn't seen before, bro. Like you've beat guys who are far better than Anthony Joshua, man. My boy Coffee Plant in the building. What's going on, brother? He said, "Who fight tomorrow?" I don't know. I don't think there's any fights. I mean, not tripping. I don't think there's any fights, like notable fights tomorrow, because I didn't see any weigh-ins today. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's any big notable fights. Eagles lost, yeah, I seen that, bro. This is, I can't watch it, bro. I cannot watch football, bro. I can't. You know what I mean, everybody pointing fingers. They saying the offensive coordinator. Some people saying Jalen Hurts. I don't know who's responsible for it, but if they want to actually do something, then they have to make some adjustments, man. I'm not a football enthusiast. I don't know football that well, so I can't give you the answers. I can't give you like a knowledgeable opinion. But one thing we can say is that they're struggling, right? 2 back-to-back losses. And I felt like both. I watched again. I felt like they were winnable games. Just a lot of dumb mistakes, man. Bad Boom Balloon said on some real shit. Francis flopped the bag, and for the first time in life, yeah, man, he should have took that opportunity. I don't know what he was thinking. He acted like he was above the fight, and it's like, why would you ever do that? Like, why would you ever feel that way? That was ridiculous, man. He should have took that fight. That was ridiculous. He should have took that. That would have got him a nice little check. That would have, man. Listen, I want Jake Paul out of boxing, bro. Like on the boxing side, I don't want him in boxing no more. Like I felt like he can. Like I said, I've been saying this for a long time. He's been contributing to the dysfunction of boxing. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making boxing look more like an entertainment thing than an actual sport. And I think that fucks up the reputation of boxing as a whole, especially amongst casual boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. You feel me? Shout out to the 9 people that's in the building. They definitely didn't send my notifications out. It's disgusting to be honest with you, but I guess that's what YouTube do at times. Sometimes they send them out, sometimes they don't. But we gonna talk regardless. We gonna get through it. Ben Whitaker. What about Ben Whitaker? I seen that Ben Whitaker. Eddie Hearn got his promoter head on. You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn got his promoter head on, and he only has 10 fights. Eddie Hearn has made that clear that he has 10 fights and he's in the developmental process. But at the same time, he's attaching his names to the the elite guys at 175. You know what I mean? He mentioned him with Benavidez. That's simple promotional tactics. You feel what I'm saying? To just keep his name, relevant. You know what I mean? And one way to make yourself a bigger star is attach your name to guys who are stars already. They already have their name established. You feel me? Like, just that's promoter. That's promoter one-on-one type shit. Let me see. Yeah, YouTube definitely doing me dirty, but you can't stop guys playing, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop guys playing. We gonna get where we want to go regardless. Yeah, Sir Ali said off topic. What's your favorite fast food joint? It's a good question. I fuck with Chick-fil-A heavy. You know what I mean? The Chick-fil-A sauce should be fire with that motherfucking chicken deluxe. You feel me? Um, I tried Raising Cane's for the first time like a month ago. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. I'm a big chicken boy. You feel what I'm saying? So I like chicken spots. Like I'll fuck with McDonald's like if I'm hungry, Wendy's, but some real shit. I'm not really too fond of many fast food restaurants how it used to be. When I was a young boy, oh yeah, we was eating everything. You feel me? But now it's just like I feel like nothing really beat like a home cooked meal from the wifey. Oh, my mom, my grandmother. You feel what I mean? Like I don't really be into all that. Real side salute, brother. Chipotle is another good one. That's one of my girl favorites. Yeah. Chipotle. I didn't even think of Chipotle as like a fast food spot. When I think of fast food spot, I'm thinking about like drive-throughs and shit like that. But yeah, you're right. Chipotle is good. I like getting. I love the steak, bro. I get the rice bowl. I get the bowl, the white rice, the steak, the cream. What's that? The sour cream and a few other things. I get the chips with it too. BJ's Brewhouse. I'm not familiar with that, brother. I don't sound like something that's in Philly. Ben Whitaker getting big from all the hate too. I mean, that's another thing too. Like if you get, and a lot of people don't understand this. Is like, and a lot of fighters don't really understand it and react like, for real, for real. But you want to balance the people who like and dislike you, because guess what? Both of them are both fans at the same time. You know why? Because they're gonna watch you fight. You know what I mean? They're gonna watch you fight. Because you got motherfuckers who want to see you win. You want motherfuckers that want to see you lose. You gotta be okay with having both people. Because guess what? They're both gonna pay to watch you fight. You know what I mean? Zaxby's, I never had that. Yeah, sir, gotta be hungry as shit asking that nigga. You ain't got no leftovers from yesterday. What's your favorite fast food spot? Like, damn, nigga. You ain't get a home cooked meal? Shit, you shouldn't even be thinking about that right now. You said Mark love Geno's. Yo, to be real with you, coffee, I've never had Geno's. Never had Geno's. And the reason why is they used to have a sign out there that said that some shit like, "This is America, speak English." When I saw that, I was like, I would never eat there. Would never eat there. You know what I'm saying? I don't even play like that. Like niggas who really know me personally know how I respond to racism and little sneaky ass comments like that. Like I done had niggas hemmed up by their neck for saying slick shit like that, and that's when I was a young boy. So I got a zero tolerance policy for the goofy shit. But yeah, I don't even play like that, bro. Go ahead and Google it. Go put Geno Steaks in South Philly. Put this is America, speak English. As a matter of fact, I can pull it up myself. When I saw that in person, bro. I was like, oh no, fuck that. You know what I mean? And mind you, you know, I'm sure a lot of people are racist, right? But the audacity to say that shit in South Philly, where there's nothing but minorities over there, like it's crazy. South Philly is literally filled with Mexicans, Asians, Hondurans. Like, come on, bro. Like, cut it out. Look, there you go. Look. He proud of it too. Look at him. Look at his goofy ass. This is America when order and speak English. Like, what else they gonna speak, dickhead? Look, then they remove the sign. No, if y'all standing on it, stand on it. Stand on it. It's like y'all niggas be trying to get away with blatant racism, and then when niggas start pressing y'all, then y'all want to start bitching. No, stand on it. Look, you holding this sign, brother. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, we not doing that. So on my son life, I've never had Geno steaks. I've had Pats. You know what I mean? But I'm not really enthused with neither one of them, to be honest with you. Geno's is mid to Philadelphians. Pats is too, to be real. But one thing about Pats, bro, they got some fire ass cheese fries. I don't know what they be doing, but they cheese fries always been top tier. Now, like cheesesteaks, you got Delosandro's, you got Angelo's. They top tier cheesesteak spots. There's this new place that me and my girl went to. I got a Wagyu cheesesteak. It was from what the fuck was that place called? Yo, Bay. What was the name of that cheesesteak spot in Center City that had the Wagyu cheesesteak? What? What you said it was called? With an S. Shays. Shay Steaks. They were good. It took a long time to even fuck my order up. But when we ate, it was good. That paper slowed up. Yeah, niggas started getting mad. See, it's like, bro, the fact that some motherfuckers be so racist that they let that hinder they cash flow, like they're idiots, bro. Like there's no way, because even if I truly felt that way, like internally where I was like a quote unquote racist, you feel what I mean? I would never let that be known publicly if I have a business, because everybody money the same. You fucking dummy. Like, what are you doing? So you willing to lose customers because you want to blatantly show racism. It's dumb. Super dumb. You know what I mean? Like, y'all fucking up money plays because y'all got hate in y'all heart for somebody. Super weird. Scott said Cambodians too. Yeah, I said Asians, but yeah, my girl Cambodian. She not from South Philly, but there's a lot of Cambodians in South Philly. That mean you tapped them, brother. You from around the way? Let me know. He must be tapped in with the city. He know what he talking about. He said both trash facts. You know what was there was a John up Cotman in Northeast called Prince Steaks. They wasn't bad. They was not bad. I was impressed with them, man. Ishkabibbles, yeah, down South Philly. They got two South Street. They got two good spots. They are good. That's when I seen Allen Iverson. I had went down the Ishkabibbles. He was out there. Shout out to AI legend. I ain't been down South Street in a minute though, because South Street, I feel like they closing down that whole strip, bro. There used to be so many stores out there. Now it's like less and less. I'm like, damn. Yeah. There was a Larry Steaks up like I don't know if that's West Philly. I think that's West Philly. They were good, bro. Larry Steaks was good. I don't know if I was just hungry than the motherfucker or what. But yeah. What you mean that? So did Jake Paul beat Francis? What we saying? What are you talking about? Ain't nobody say that. Who said that? What are you talking about, Bad Boy? I'm confused. I know Jake Paul sent Francis Ngannou an offer, and Francis act like he was above it, like he didn't want to take that. He was calling out Francis on social media and all. And Francis like, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. It's like, nigga, you ain't stay in your lane when you fought Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. This motherfucker want to call you out to a boxing match, and you talk about stay in your lane. No, nigga, practice what you preach, nigga. Yeah, he should have took that, man. And he not gonna make that money with nowhere else. Just keep it a buck. Like where Francis ain't making that shit in the where he be at, the PFL. He ain't making that shit in the PFL. You know what I mean? And ain't none of these top heavyweights giving you an opportunity again. You better hope you get that Deontay Wilder fight. You feel me? Because if not, you're not really seeing no big paydays like that. And Wilder probably not even gonna pay you like Jake Paul. Keep it 1,000. Looks like Thanksgiving did us wrong this year. What you talking about? Oh, you at Upper Darby? Oh, okay. I had some homies that was from Upper Darby. Salute. I used to be up there all the time. My old boxing gym used to be near there. Out in Glen Olden. That's the county though. Is Upper Darby considered the county? I don't even know. But yeah, I got some homies that live around there and shit like that. Must Fight. That Must Fight gym is in Westchester Pike. Used to be up there on the regular too. You from South Philly though? That's what's up. I'm from North. Yes, sir. Where all the Puerto Ricans live at. You know what I mean? Fairhill section. Overbrook. Solid. I'm not too familiar with that area, but I've been around there before. But anyways, man, I wanted to go over this shit with y'all because, man, I had just woke up. I took this crazy nap. I can tell by my hair and shit. I just woke up. Oh, Larry Stakes is at Overbrook. Okay. Good to know. I think they got one down Gerard too in North. They got one on like a few blocks down from Broad and Gerard. I think they got one down there too, unless I'm tripping. But anyways, let's get into this shit, man. Cause I really wanted to share this with you guys. I had just woke up from my nap and shit. I started scrolling through social media, see what I'm gonna talk about on the live today, and I came across this gem right here, man. Now, mind you, Dan Rayfield, he's been a boxing reporter for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know I don't even remember what I said, to be honest with you, but he actually has me blocked on Twitter, which is one of many people that had me blocked. Dan Rayfield, Oscar De La Hoya, and I'm sure there's a few more that I can't even recall right now. But regardless, I'm still able to see what he's tweeting. So this is how it starts. Let me go ahead and share this with y'all, man. Let me go ahead and share this with y'all. Let me share the screen for the people to see. And this is how it all started. So the Ring Magazine puts together a Ryan Garcia quote for Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia says some corny shit along the lines of Bill is not his real dad. I'm his real dad. When you get an ass woman like that from pillar to pillar, I'm his real dad, and that's facts. He dickheading off of Rolly Romero. How a nigga whip your ass and you start acting like him? But anyways, Dean Rayfield responds and he says, juiced up on PEDs, 4+ pounds over the contract weight, and it was still a close fight points-wise, even with the knockdowns, but okay. Now, I thought that shit was pretty funny because, it was factual. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think he was actually like 3 pounds or some change off of the limit. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but regardless, he seems to be spot on with what he said. He was juiced up on PEDs, and it was a close fight points-wise, even with the knockdowns. If you take the knockdowns away, Devin Haney actually wins the fight. So that's how it all starts off. I guess that had gotten Ryan Garcia's attention, and let me see where it goes from there. Ryan Garcia responds and said, how stupid can you be, Dan? Actually think for once. Juiced up on PEDs is so inaccurate for you as a reporter. It's sad. I wasn't 4+ pounds over the weight. He accepted the money because I was over, and he said, and I quote, didn't matter, he was still winning. Lastly, the ref was saving him in there. Yeah, you are a fat hater that can't help it. You lost your touch, Dan. It's quite sad these days to see what you've become. Now, the irony for Ryan Garcia to ever tell somebody that it's sad these days what you've become, because how the way you started your career and how the way your shit's been unfolding so far, you've been disappointed. You've been the disappointing one, man. You're the one who's underdelivered. You have yet to ever win a world title. You're like the only one amongst your peers, actually, who haven't won multiple world titles. You're still struggling to get one. And who knows if you fucking beat Mario Barrios? Because if you look like how the way you looked in the Rolly Romero fight, you might fuck around and lose again. But regardless, here he goes trying to, try to make, push these narratives that, he was in the right. And just Ryan Garcia has had a huge accountability issue. He's like a woman, like a uncooperative, disrespectful, no house manners having ass woman, just lacking accountability at all costs. He said, I wasn't 4 pounds over, but you were over regardless. He could have said 20 pounds, even though he may not have been accurate in terms of the number, the reality is you were overweight. He accepted the money. You ain't had no choice but to give him money, because when you violate the contract, you have to give him something that's going to keep the fight intact. So you had no choice. Yeah, he accepted the money, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you've attempted to cheat. You know what I mean? And in terms of Devin Haney saying he would still win, that's the mentality that he's supposed to have. And the ref was saving him in there. I don't even know what that means. You got 3 knockdowns and you still couldn't finish him. So he kept getting up, and every round that you didn't knock him down in, he won. So it's like, did the referee really save him, or did the PED save you? Very, very interesting response from Ryan Garcia. So Dan Rayfield not really trying to hear that shit. This is what was hilarious to me. Yeah, man, this is what was hilarious to me. So he goes ahead and he says, blah, blah, blah. Devin Haney is a 3-division world champion, included undisputed title, and didn't have to cheat. Facts. Your Austrian levels were 60 times allowable in New York. Maybe Devin dropped by you 3 times but kept getting up, which is more than you against Tank. Yeah, this motherfucker Dan talking spicy. He said, yo, Devin got dropped by you 3 times, but he kept getting up, which is more than what you did against Tank because he got dropped twice and only got up once. You feel what I'm saying? But kept getting up, which is more than you against Tank. I may be fat, but I'm no sucker for your propaganda. You still swore I was 100% accurate on every single thing I reported about your positive drug test that you said I lied about. Have a blessed day. So I actually remember that. He was trying to discredit Dan Rayfield, said that his information was inaccurate. And there may have been times where Dan Rayfield's reports may have not come out to be true. But in that one, from what I understand, from what I remember, he was on point with. So he's pretty much saying that's why Ryan Garcia is salty. Now, I didn't see anything wrong with what Dan Rayfield was saying. Definitely came out spicy, but I mean, look, the reality is he was 60 times he was 60 times over the Austrian levels that are allowable in New York. You know what I mean? Devin got up every time he was knocked down by you, which is more than what you did against Tank, because essentially you quit against Tank. And yeah, you could insult the man, but he's sticking by the facts and he's not falling for the bullshit that you're putting out there. And what's crazy is I'm looking at Ryan Garcia's replies and I'm seeing people that's actually, enabling Ryan, people who are actually still supporting Ryan. It's like, man, y'all might as well go sit on that nigga face, bro. Y'all niggas like, y'all clearly go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't understand. I mean, y'all just different, bro. Like, y'all clearly, something's definitely wrong with y'all. Y'all have a certain level of attraction to Ryan Garcia, and it's disgusting, to be honest with you. You okay? So it goes on. Ryan Garcia answers and says, I'm sorry, you aren't accurate. Did you report that the supplements had traces of Austrian in it? You did it because you didn't care about that part. It's sad that because of my political views and what I was speaking about, I'm not going to read that. Y'all see it. You started being a bitch towards me, fucking weirdo. You lost all credibility. It don't really matter. Nobody listens to your takes anyways. And I wonder fucking why. Barely got a job, head ass. So that's Ryan Garcia's response. First of all, I don't understand how you could say that nobody listens to your takes when you're responding to his takes. if nobody's really listening, then why are you taking the time to actually respond on? It sounds like you're the one listening to reality. You feel what I'm saying? So there's that. Dan Rayfield, I don't even have to do this. Dan Rayfield, and there's people in the comments that's cooking Ryan Garcia as well. But this is Dan Rayfield's response. And he's sticking by the facts. He's not really using his emotions whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And he says 60 times allowable level isn't a trace amount. That's something I've learned in reporting on drug tests almost as long as you've been alive. So he's saying, bro, like, I know how this shit work. I know how this shit go down because I've been reporting this shit longer than you've been around. As long as you've been existing, I've been talking about this. So shout out to Dan Rayfield for his time that he's put into boxing reporting. Dan Rayfield also says, couldn't care less about your political views, but that said, I never went on a live stream and used the N-word a dozen times or professed hatred for black people and Muslims like you did. God damn. This nigga Dan Rayfield smoking this nigga. Yo, this is a 10-7 round, bro. Yo, Dan Rayfield punching Ryan to the body. He dropping Ryan. He hurting him with both hands. He whooping the shit out of him. He whooping the shit out of Ryan in this joint. Let me go ahead because, he's absolutely deep frying Ryan. Job-wise, I'm doing just fine for myself and making a fine living. Appreciate your interest in my financial well-being. We could do this all day if you like. So he's saying, like, nigga, with all the shit that you got going on, you don't want to go band for band with me. Like, you don't really want to sit here and talk about, people's problems and what we both got going on because your negatives surely outweigh mine. You know what I'm saying? And even though there may have been things that I've been critical of Dan Rayfield of saying in the past and things of that nature, the reality is you're not gonna ever agree with anybody 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality. There's some things that you're gonna see eye to eye with them about. There's gonna be other things that you don't see eye to eye with them about. But the reality is, Dan Rayfield's been in the game for many years. Pretty much devoting his life to talk about boxing. And, do we look at him as a fighter? No, but I think there is a certain level of respect that we got to give to people who are that consistent and devote themselves to their craft, whether it's, writing about boxing, coaching boxing, managing fighters, promoting fighters. We got to give them their just due for that. You feel what I mean? But goddamn, Dan Rayfield absolutely cooked on Ryan Garcia in this one right here. I think the nail in the coffin was him actually bringing up, the racist, the racist rants that Ryan Garcia done went on in the past that Ryan Garcia had still avoids, talking about at all costs, something that he refuses to take accountability for, trying to blame it on the liquor. Like Jamie Foxx said, that shit just don't work around here, brother. You feel what I'm saying? So let me read this shit again. Because this is classic. This shit needs to be hung up in the Boxing Hall of Fame. This tweet right here. So, Ryan Garcia, he's trying to make it seem like Dan Rayfield is incredible and that he's spewing lies, but shit, he's thinking about the facts to me. He bringing out the actual factuals around this motherfucker. Dan Rayfield starts by saying 60 times allowable level isn't a trace amount. So if you 60 times over, how is this a trace amount? Trace means small amounts. If you 60 times over, that means that shit is flowing through your veins. That shit is all in your urine. Like, cut it the fuck out. He said, that's something that I've learned in reporting on drug testing almost as long as you've been alive. Number two, couldn't care less about your political views, but that said, I never went on a live stream and used the N-word a dozen times or professed hatred for black people and Muslims like you did. God damn. Number three says, job-wise, I'm doing just fine, working for myself and making a fine living. Appreciate your interest in my financial well-being. We can do this all day if you like. On some real shit, I would have brought up Ryan Garcia pretty much not being able to do what he want to do because Ryan Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya got, got a hold on him. That's what I would have brought up. Like, nigga, you can't even do an exhibition without getting permission from your boss. Fuck out of here, nigga. Shut up. Yeah, million. I mean, that's what Dev been doing, but apparently that's not enough to be respected by boxing fans. Devin Haney gets a lot of hate. It's damn near like, and this probably is at this point like Floyd Mayweather level in terms of like hate, bro. Like this dude is taking legacy defining fights. He's making history. You know what I mean? He's taking on the best competition available. Like this man was, like I gotta give him respect, even though this fight just didn't come around at the right time. He was willing to fight Boots, bro. Like he was willing to fight Boots. Like niggas don't want to fight Boots for real. Like he was willing to do that in his first fight at 47. Like that's very commendable. Like that's very respectable. Niggas don't want to fight Boots, bro. We see how the way Brian Norman went about it. Mario Barrios wouldn't even look Jaron Ennis's way when he was at 47. Stanley Onis had to get paid a shit ton of money to fight Boots. Like I remember this. You feel me? Motherfuckers at 154 acting like they don't want to fight Boots neither. You know what I'm saying? So, Devin Haney is what you should like about boxing. Motherfuckers taking chances, going against the odds, proving people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Rising to the occasion, putting it all on the line. Like you got to respect shit like that. And I never was the biggest Devin Haney fan for a long time, but now, like, how can he not be a favorite of mine? If me as a boxing fan, if I have a lot of respect for people taking big fights, be legacy, putting their legacy first, chasing belts, you know what I'm saying? Winning titles in multiple divisions, calling out the best competition, rising to the occasion, skill set. Like Devin Haney showing you all of that. Even when Even when he's, in trouble, like that Ryan Garcia fight. You ain't see an ounce of bitch in Devin Haney's blood. You didn't. I seen motherfuckers in that situation that folded like Ryan bitch has. I seen Ryan Garcia fold 2 times and testing for a PED. That's folding too because you don't believe in yourself. That's bitch shit. So that first Gervonta Davis fight, he quit. He quit. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I see niggas had their eyes shut, keep fighting. Broken noses, broken jaws, keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? Ankle. Like I seen Yuriorkis Gamboa fight with a torn Achilles against Gervonta Davis. Kept fighting until he got stopped. Like I've seen these things. So when I see somebody get hit in the ribs and they take a knee and they wait until the count and then they stand up, that's bitch shit to me. Like you pussy. Like there's like no other way to put that. And I don't give a fuck when none of these reporters be coming out here talking like, you know what I mean? Like, man, these fighters been, these fighters really been boxing since they were babies. So, you can't say that they aren't afraid of, man, shut up. Some niggas got heart, some niggas don't. I don't give a fuck how long they've been in the game. I don't care how long they've been in the game. This is coming from somebody who been in it. You can look at a motherfucker, any coach will tell you this. They've had fighters that had a shit ton of heart. And then they have fighters who may have had skills, but they have no heart at all. And that's a fact. Not everybody that boxes has heart. At a professional, amateur, any of those levels. Some got more than others. Some may have a little bit of heart until they face adversity. There's people who stay solid through and through. So people have different levels to, some motherfuckers could get broke. Some people can't. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like Devin Haney showed you, he ain't got an ounce of bitch in his blood at all. He got knocked down ugly 3 times against Ryan. That man kept getting up with, even when he was struggling to, kept getting up, and was winning rounds after he was getting dropped. That's the crazy part. So you got to commend Dev, man. That dude got heart. The shit that y'all be looking for in the fighters and shit that y'all be wanting in the fighters that y'all favor, they don't be having it yet. Devin Haney does, but y'all find a reason to dislike Dev. Y'all talk about his dad, talk about him suing niggas. Bro, he got cheated. His career was almost ruined because he was cheated against. Can you imagine? Like that's crazy to me. Can you imagine being in Devin Haney's shoes? You get in one of the biggest fights of your career. You have a bad fight. You go back home, and you ain't really have no trouble in, throughout your career. You've been winning world titles. You doing all this crazy shit. You finally get this big fight with Ryan. Y'all 3-3 in the amateurs. It's a big fight. It's in New York. It's heavily publicized. Everybody talking about it. Then this motherfucker, you train your hardest. You put your all into a training camp. Just really think about this, y'all. Think from y'all perspectives. Since y'all some selfish motherfuckers, think as if this was you. Put your all into the training camp. You leave no stones unturned. You have a bad performance. You get knocked down a few times, damn near about to get stopped, all types of shit. And the motherfucker Ryan was smoking, drinking, partying, acting crazy. You know what I mean? Damn near people questioning whether he gonna follow through with the fight or not. And you lose to him. It's like, what the fuck? Then you come to find out later on down the line, this motherfucker had PEDs in the system. He failed the test for the New York State Athletic Commission, and he failed the test by VADA. Multiple people say he failed the test. So now, you know what I mean? Your O they give you your O back, all that good stuff. That's ruled a no contest. Cool. So you take some time off to heal from that situation mentally and physically. You come back into the game like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, it's time for me to get back. What's up? Well, let's see what the market's like. And everybody shooting numbers at you that, damn well you worth more than. But they gauging this based off of your loss. Your once, a loss that got ruled to a no contest in reality. And you like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is what y'all trying to pay me? Yeah, man, because you ain't look good in your last fight, but I got cheated. Oh man, that's just what the market says you're worth right now. What? I just made this much for Ryan. Y'all can't. This is what we could give you. That's it. All because a nigga cheated you. You didn't lose fair and square. You got cheated. But you got to pay the price because you got cheated. How the fuck that sound? Meanwhile, this motherfucker Ryan Garcia, they heavily anticipating him coming back. He about to come into a big fucking fight at Times Square against Rolly Romero for a world title? Huh? Yeah, he was right in suing Ryan Garcia. And I'm kind of mad that he let the lawsuit go, but that just goes to show how much of a dog he is. I'd have took every dollar off Ryan. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about, but guess what? Because guess what? A lot of y'all niggas ain't never make this type money. Y'all not the sole providers for y'all families. Y'all not the ticket behind creating generational wealth for y'all family. So y'all can't relate to being in Devin Haney's shoes. Y'all motherfuckers don't even pay your own bills. Y'all niggas be sitting in the crib scratching y'all stomach while y'all mom living off welfare. You feel me? Shit crazy. So I'm glad Dan Rayfield put the belt to Ryan Garcia on Twitter. This is how he needs to be spoken to more often. Ryan Garcia is surrounded by people who enable his, bullshit tendencies. He's not told the truth over there. They let him do whatever he wants. That's why he acts the way he acts. You feel me? So I'm glad Dan Rayfield told him that. And on some real shit, I hope people continue to talk to him like that. I hope he continues getting disrespected. On my son's life, if I was to ever see Ryan Garcia, I would dead ass, like if I had the opportunity, I would disrespect him. That's what he deserves. He a hoe. Like he really a hoe. So it is what it is. Shout out to Dan Rayfield for that. Oh man. My boy Bad Boom Balloon in the building. He said that was the moment Eddie became fake as fuck, telling Dev he ain't getting anything more than $1 million. I would want Devin to beat up Conor for no other reason than because Eddie is with Conor. Facts. And then, then he starts shitting on he tried to start shitting on Devin Haney. Like you start shitting on Devin Haney because you ain't breaking bread with him, because he ain't breaking bread with you no more. He cut you out the mix so he could deal directly with Turkey Al-Ashika, keep all the money, but you feel a way about it. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearn done dropped niggas after having one loss on they fucking like Super L lost to Leon Paro. You stop doing business with him. Who was the other motherfucker he dropped after one loss? Who was the other one? Eddie Hearn done dropped a few niggas. I know I ain't tripping. And a lot of promoters do this, so I'm not necessarily criticizing him for it. But, you upset that motherfuckers move on from you, but you done moved on from fighters in the past. Y'all let me know. Who was it? It was Subro Matias that he dropped. There was somebody else. Who was that guy? But regardless, there's a few people that he should not. Out of Powell said he should not get a shot with Barrios, but money talk. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I guess money does talk. Barrios, he don't really want no trouble for real. You know what I mean? Maybe he see a weakness in Ryan Garcia. He see a little bit of money that could be made. So he like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. My boy R3 in the building. He says, Mazuma Devin Haney even said, I hope Ryan Garcia wins against Mario Barrios. Huge respect because most people would wish success on somebody who cheated them. Well, he's only wishing success on Ryan Garcia because he wants that get back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he really wants it. I don't think he's wishing Ryan Garcia's success because he's a huge supporter of Ryan. Nah, he want Ryan Garcia to win that world title so there could be more on the line in the fight. You know what I'm saying? And that way they can't discredit him if he were to, beat Ryan. You feel what I'm saying? They can't be like, oh, well, you beat Ryan coming off of a loss. Well, no, he beat Ryan when he was world champion, assuming that he defeats Mario Barrios. You know what I mean? So yeah. That shit is very interesting, bro. Very interesting. Eddie Hearn's a clown. You know what I mean? His loyalty is definitely conditional. And that's why, and I'm glad that Richardson Hitchens, 'cause I remember he got real upset because Richardson Hitchens was talking about he was a free agent after his contract was up with Eddie Hearn and shit. Eddie Hearn was like, yo, why would you announce that publicly, man? Like, when I took you, you know what I mean? You ain't had nothing going on with Mayweather. We made you a world champion and you want to go ahead and proclaim free agency. Like, nigga, you can't tell that man how to go about his career after your contract's up with you. You should have tried to sign an extension with him. You should have tried to talk to him behind the scenes to lock something in. Obviously, you're not bringing anything that's the Tyson Richardson Hitchens on stage. So why you mad that he announced a free agency? He got to do what's best for his career. Yeah, I mean, you ain't got problems dropping motherfuckers whenever you don't feel like making money off them no more, or you feel like you can't make money off them no more. So what's the problem? Hearn dropped Anthony Sims Jr. I think I remember that too. Let me see. My fault, yo. I got a crazy heartburn. Mm. Hmm. Yeah. Edgar Berlanga. That was the one I was looking for. That was the one I was looking for. I think I think he had dropped Edgar Berlanga. Did he drop Edgar Berlanga after the Canelo fight? Or was it? Or it might have been when he was on the Emma Williams undercard when he beat up on that dude that was in jail and was hella fat, 300 pounds in jail, cut weight for the Berlanga fight. Yeah, it might have been that. Alda Powell said, Hearn, a two-face, he used to talk shit about Canelo. Then got to deal with him and saying the opposite. Yeah, he, like I said, his loyalty is conditional. Depending on your situation with him, he takes an approach with you. If y'all breaking bread, if he signed with you, yo, you the best fighter in the world. You know what I mean? You world-class fighter, blah, blah. Nobody could beat this person, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as y'all part ways, then he starts saying how he really feel about you. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, he always felt like Devin Haney was a fighter that he wasn't really too enthused in, but because Devin Haney was a name, you know what I mean? They was making big fights happen. Like, I guarantee you, I could pull up interviews from Eddie Hearn in the lead up to the Devin Haney Regis fight where he's praising Devin Haney. I guarantee you, like that'll be effortless to find. Now you're talking about Devin Haney pretty much did a deal directly with Turkey Al-Sheikh and left you out of it. So you upset. When in reality, I don't even know why you expect that type of loyalty because Devin Haney was looking for that loyalty out of you in that purse bid between him and Sandor Martin, but you ain't want to come through because you say you're not in the game to lose money. Okay. So why would he lose money having you be a part of the deal when he could cut you the fuck out and deal directly with the man and bring all his bread back home? Like I don't be understanding dudes like Eddie, bro. He's like yeah, you could tell he's one of those spoiled children that don't like shit not going his way. That's why him and Conor Ben get along so well. No, belonging not with Eddie no more. He punished him with the undercard first. Yeah, he tried to make an example out of Edgar. I guess he didn't like how Edgar was acting like this star and all that shit, was asking for all this money. So he like, you know what? Take this undercard, nigga. He said, take this undercard, nigga, and get the fuck about this. He said, man, get the fuck about the mix, cuz. Damn. Super bad, John. Super bad, John. You feel me? But I seen an interview from Eddie Hearn where he was talking about how, yeah, I mean, he low-key don't want Conor Benn to fight Devin Haney. I heard Nigel Benn, Conor Benn's father, say that he don't want his son to fight Devin Haney. So that let me know that the father don't believe in his chances against Devin Haney. And then I heard Eddie Hearn talk about, Devin Haney's a real difficult style to beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying all this shit. And I'm like, Eddie Hearn, I'm going to just say this. That motherfucker ain't as smart as he think he is. You feel what I mean? You might be a great businessman. You know what I mean? You did a great job transitioning from the UK to the US boxing market. But when it comes to talking, and it's like Eddie Hearn talks so much, because you would see he'll do like three 1-hour interviews in one day. And he get the talking. He talk. And he know how to talk, but he also talk too much. And you can hear exactly what Eddie Hearn be thinking about certain fights and all that shit. He know damn well he don't want Conor Benn nowhere near Devin Haney. That shit was just all for clout. If Turkey Al-Sheikh sent Conor Benn an offer to fight Devin Haney, I guarantee you he would not look Devin Haney way. And they don't want to fight no Shakur Stevenson either. That's easy work. Nigga said free Padley. What's going on with Padley? Josh Padley probably happy over there. He ain't got to be an electrician no more. He can just focus on boxing. Shit. He was fought in October. Shout out to Josh Padley. Padley doing some great shit over there. Joe Quinn, salute, brother. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. I hope you stick around. Salute. He said, what you drinking? I was drinking some pink lemonade, some Crystal Light shit. R3 said, I know for a fact Eddie wanted to make Berlanga versus Pacheco, but Berlanga's team didn't want to. Of course they didn't. Berlanga and them, bro, they think they superstars. You feel what I'm saying? So they only want to do, they just want to, they want to cash out. They want to cash out. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as they got that Canelo Alvarez opportunity and they see how much money they made, they're like, oh, we got to keep doing this. But they going to keep embarrassing themselves because they not ready for that level. They didn't take the steps necessary early in their career to get ready for those big, high-level, lucrative fights. It's just they're gonna fall a step short every time. They fight Diego Pacheco, they will lose. They fight Christian and Billy, they will lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where Caleb playing at right now, but if he on his game, Berlanga fuck around and lose. Y'all let Hamza Shiraz come up and wait and absolutely ice you. Easy work. And that's not saying Hamza ass or anything like that, but you know what I mean? I don't think he should have had that much of an easy time knocking your ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that should have been that easy. That was an easy day's work for Hamza. I bet you Hamza had tougher sparring sessions than the fight you gave him in that camp. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So, man, let's get into this discussion, bro. Let's get into this discussion. Let's take a look right here at what we're seeing. Because when I saw this, I was like, man, what the fuck is going on? That boy Jake Paul must be paying these sparring partners like fight money, bro. Because goddamn, I couldn't believe what I saw. Hamza definitely got hands, for sure. But let's take a look at this. Oh, man. Now, shout out to the Ring Magazine for putting this out. Jake Paul he shared this on his social media as well. Looked like he getting ready. He got some notable names in the ring with him right there. So, Ring Magazine is reporting that Jake Paul sparring in the gym with heavyweights Jared Big Baby Anderson, which I'm pretty impressed with in all honesty, because he looks like he's in great shape. You know what I mean? Like, especially like in his like abdominal area, he always looks like a little like chubby in that area. Pause. But he looks like he's thin. Looks like he's in some type of shape, so he's definitely been training. Frank Sanchez, who's been talked about a lot lately in the heavyweight division, and Lawrence Okolie to prepare for his fight against Anthony Joshua next month. Now, shout out to Jake Paul for, taking this fight serious and getting the work that's necessary. All of these guys are notable heavyweight guys. You know what I mean? I remember Lawrence Okolie being the champion in the cruiserweight division, and now he's in the heavyweight division looking to make a name for himself there. Frank Sanchez, he's been around the mix. I mean, he lost to Caballero, but besides that, he's a notable contender at heavyweight. Then of course we got Jared Anderson, who's been underwhelming thus far in his career, but regardless, he's a name. You know what I mean? The only loss to Martin McCauley. So yeah, man. Now, there was a few things that had confused me with this photo. For one, the fact that Frank Sanchez and Jared Anderson are in the same room, because I don't know if these are true. This could be cap. I'm not sure. But I was hearing reports that Jared Anderson and Frank Sanchez were about to possibly fight each other in the IBF title eliminator. Frank Sanchez has been trying to find people for a while that, could fight him in this title eliminator. I think Moses Atama has said no. There was somebody else. Who else said no? There's a few different people. Y'all can correct me in the comments. But Alda Powell said Jake looked little compared to him. I mean, it's because he is. Jake Paul's not a real heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying this. I was saying that at the most, I said Jake Paul is like a small cruiserweight. To be honest with you, like, I don't really look at him as like, he's really a light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? But comfortable weight, cruiser, for sure. But he's not a heavyweight by any stretch of the imagination. There was people that was like, man, he's a heavy. No, he's not. You know what I'm saying? You could tell how the way when he gets on that scale, he has no abs. You know what I mean? That's why he be gassing out early. You know what I'm saying? But Anonymous said F.A. Jagba, Torres at first, and Dubois recently. You know what I mean? So those are the guys who had turned down the IBF title eliminator with Frank Sanchez. You know what I'm saying? So there was reports out here saying Jared Anderson had accepted it. So to see these guys in the same room, possibly sparring each other, I thought that was a bit ironic, to be honest with you, just something that I wasn't expecting. Now, what was even more confusing to me is the fact that Lawrence Okolie is in the ring with Anthony Joshua. I mean, not Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul. Now, the reason why I find this to be so ironic, something that totally caught me off guard, is because Anthony Joshua and Lawrence Okolie have history with each other. When Lawrence Okolie was coming up, he looked at, and you can look this up for yourself, he looked at Anthony Joshua as a mentor. You know what I mean? This is somebody who gave him game, put him on game once he reached the professional level. Not only that, but there was a point in time where Lawrence Okolie was being managed by Anthony Joshua's management team. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it so crazy that they had such a close relationship. Now, things may have changed since Lawrence Okolie has moved up to heavyweight. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like, all right, I'm in your weight class now, so we got to give each other some distance or whatever. But that doesn't take away from the history that they share, right? So to know these things and to see that Lawrence Okolie is helping Jake Paul get ready for Anthony Joshua, I ain't gonna lie, this shit kind of giving Snake vibes, bro. Now, if they had a falling out or something, somebody got to let me know. But regardless, bro, it's like this man helped you out during the beginning of your career. He helped manage your career. You know what I mean? Your name was kind of buzzing when you was at cruiserweight. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know what I mean? Your name was definitely buzzing. Your name definitely slowed down since moving up in weight. Yeah. But when you was at cruiserweight, people was talking about you. I remember him when he made his pro debut. You know what I mean? And I remember him praising Anthony Joshua. Like, I remember I seen him doing road work with Anthony Joshua, sparring Anthony Joshua. So to see this man, fly out to Puerto Rico or whatever he at to go help Jake Paul get ready for Anthony Joshua, Now that's some snake shit. And that's the difference between what was going on with Jerron Ennis, Crawford, and Canelo and all this other shit, because Jerron Ennis and Terrence Crawford never had a relationship. You know what I mean? They actually were competitors. You know what I mean? Somebody, like Jerron Ennis wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. They never had a friendship before boxing, during boxing, after boxing. But Lawrence Okolie and Anthony Joshua had a sound friendship for years. Anthony Joshua gave this man opportunity. Anthony Joshua helped guide his career. So this is like, I don't know what happened between these two, but just to see this, I can't. And look, people like, man, Lawrence Okolie probably being like a mole in Jake Paul's camp, blah, blah. Man, I don't want to hear none of that shit, because, if he was a mole in his camp, all right, cool, but you still sparring him. So in a sense, you're giving him, you're helping him formulate a plan to beat Anthony Joshua. It ain't like you in there, you ain't sparring him, you just watching him and shit. No, you're contributing to his camp in a positive way. You're giving him looks that's going to sharpen his tools to get ready for Anthony Joshua. Like, you're pretty much helping Jake Paul attempts to derail AJ. That's some snake shit to me. That's the difference between no loyalty being in boxing and being a motherfucking, what would they call that, a turncoat? I don't know. I don't really know what to make of this, y'all. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel. This some snake shit, or is there's no loyalty in boxing? Like, you could be somebody man's and they could go help somebody else get ready to beat you. Like, how is this looked at, y'all? Let me know in the comments. Am I tripping? Am I not tripping? Let me know what it is. Jacquez said that's some good work right there. It's definitely great work for Jake Paul. This is the right work that he needs. None of them exactly fight like Anthony Joshua, but they're big guys who, have punching power. Jed Anderson got some good hand speed. He's athletic. Frank Sanchez, experience, great skills. And you got Lawrence Okolie, who's, he's a bit slow, but he packs some power as well. So it's great overall work. Three top heavyweights, they got 3 different approaches. It's great work. But I don't know, man. I see everybody praising Jake Paul, but it's like, I can't look at Lawrence Okolie and be like, I don't see how Jake. See, look, people right here, overhand right. He says Lawrence Okolie on Jake Paul team isn't something I expected. Like, I don't know. Look, if people clowning Lawrence Okolie and shit like that, but somebody by the name of Delirious Pope says, I'm sure Okolie used to be under AJ's management company, like I just said. Left to join Boxer. Career went well after that. Not good enough to lace AJ's boots. The Rat. Damn. Look, Wardy says, Okolie used to be a cruiserweight, looks massive. Swear he's AJ's pal as well. That's what I'm saying. I thought Okolie was a friend of Joshua's. Yes. I thought Okolie and AJ were boys. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. They getting that Christmas bonus. Probably. What I'm saying is they had to have gotten paid well, like, without a doubt. You know what I mean? And Jake Paul, he good for it. He got money, so I'm sure he took care of these guys, gave them money that they couldn't refuse, or money that they really wouldn't be willing to turn down. I get it. But god damn, bro, like fuck everybody else. Lawrence Okolie, you are a fucking snake, dog. You are a snake. I'm glad. I'm glad Anthony Joshua not helping you with your career no more. You are a bona fide fucking snake, cuz. There's no other way to look at that. There's no way I can look at my homie the same. Like, if Anthony Joshua was my homie, and let's say like we both pro boxers, we in the same weight class, whatever. If we got a rumble, the money makes sense, whatever it is, what it is, titles on the line, whatever, we gonna get it popping. You feel me? It is what it is. But if a nigga called me, like Jake Paul, be like, yo, man, I know you see I got this fight with Anthony Joshua set up. Just wanted to know if we could fly you in and, you could give us some rounds. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I wish you the best of luck, brother, but, you know what I mean? Anthony Joshua, my homie, I can't do that, man. You know what I mean? I could probably get you some people who could help you. I could probably help you with some people. I wouldn't even do that. But I'm sure there's some other people that you could get, man, but, I just can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, Anthony Joshua helped me out a lot during my career. You know what I mean? He the reason why X, Y, Z. I just can't. I can't help you with that. You feel me? Like that's how I would carry it. Now I can't. Now what I've learned through these 27 years of life is we got 27 people in the building. Salute. But in these 27 years of life that I've had thus far, you can't expect people to carry shit like you. But god damn. Where the fuck the principals at? Okolie? God damn. Crazy. So I'm seeing some people say it's a paycheck, it's understandable. I'm seeing people saying there's definitely some snake shit. God damn. Listen, man, I got no other way but to look at it like that. Like if a motherfucker, like think about it like this. Like you saying Mark Mazuma has loyalty. I feel like everybody should look at it like this. But like I said, you can't expect everybody to move like you. But if a motherfucker gave you opportunity, somebody gave you opportunity, like believed in you, felt like you could do it all. You know what I mean? Like you helped build your brand off of his name. You had a good friendship. He gave you tips. He taught you. He showed you the ins and outs of the game, with everything he done went through in his career. Just for you to, you know, move on from him, that helps somebody get ready to fight him. It's like, come on, dog. You don't feel right doing that. You know you don't feel right doing that. I know I wouldn't feel right doing that. Even if I needed money, bro, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. You know what I mean? But shout out to the 29 people that's in the building, man. Let's get into some open boxing topics. I want y'all to tell me what's on your minds and what y'all want to discuss, man. What y'all want my opinions on, what you want the nation's opinions on. Let me know. Let me know how we feeling. My boy Yasir was talking about fast food earlier. If y'all motherfuckers want to talk about fast food, we can. But you know what I mean? Let me go get a tissue first though. So why the WBC? What? The WBC raised the tolerance for Austria? Did they do that for real? No, they didn't. Ain't no fucking way. From what I'm reading, the WBC did not raise Austrian levels. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, brother. I don't know where you got that information. But from the information that I'm gathering right now, I don't see anything about the WBC raising the tolerance for raising the level for Austrian users. But let's say that is, I mean, they did it with clenbuterol. You know what I'm saying? So shit, if they were to do that with Austrian, that would let me know, and that would let everybody else know that they're not really for clean boxers how they claim to be. You know, they got a clean boxing program, the WBC clean boxing program, but if they're raising levels for fighters to get away with using performance enhancement drugs, then that would go completely against their program. So that would just make them hypocrites. That would make them extremely corrupt, and that's not the type of people that we need in the sport of boxing. You know, New York State Athletic Commission has made it clear that Subriel Matias was under, the he was under the limit that's considered banned. I'm sure the WBC is conducting the investigation right now to determine whether Subriel Matias intentionally took the PEDs or not. I'm under the assumption that the fight will continue, but I think it's ultimately up to the WBC as to whether they're going to allow Subriel to defend that title or not. I think that they're going to allow Subriel to continue. I think he'll continue being the WBC champion, just considering the circumstances. It's not like he was 60 times over like a fucking Ryan Garcia. And then there was situations where Oscar Valdez, had gotten popped with PEDs. You know what I mean? They allowed him to continue fighting against Robinson Conceição. You know what I mean? And even though he was out of competition at the time that he tested positive, he still tested positive. They didn't strip him of his title. They allowed him to continue fighting, and he was able to make a title defense off of that Conceição fight. So, if y'all moving like that for Mexicans, you better move like that with Puerto Ricans too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Southwest Dice said WBC stands for We Back Cheaters. We back Canelo. We back cheaters. We beat crooks. That's my favorite one. Shout out to James Tony. But yeah, man, the WBC got a lot of corrupt ways, man. Got a lot of corrupt ways, but that shit gonna end up biting them in the ass one day. God don't like ugly, you feel me? You say you saw him somewhere, but it could be clickbait. Maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe it hasn't been put out to the public yet. Maybe they heard something from a representative at the WBC. I don't know. But as of right now, there's no official announcement that they raised the levels that's permissible for Ostarine. But if that's the case, that would be absolutely disgraceful, to be honest with you. It would just go to show that they're not necessarily against drug cheats in boxing. And it'll just be the WBC continue to show, corruption at its finest. My boy Rouse said they gave Ryan a slap on the wrist punishment and was like, "We'll unban you." Yeah, he hasn't said anything racist in a while. So, because you remember, they took him, they took him from the rankings indefinitely because of the racist rant he went on, not because he tested positive for PEDs, but because of what he said about Black and Muslim people. Let's just make that clear. But he was like, "Oh, he hasn't said anything racist in a while, so we're gonna put him back in the rankings because we want to make money off of him." So Ryan is still profitable. So while he's still profitable, we're gonna put him back in the WBC rankings because we want him to win a title. If he finally wins a title, because we keep giving him chances, he keeps fucking up. So if we give him another chance, maybe he could beat Barrios, and we can make, we want Ryan to win because we'll make more money off of him than Barrios. It's probably how the way they're gonna do it. He said, "You seen Ben Whitaker talking about fighting David?" Yeah, I saw that, but Eddie Hearn made it clear. That's why I was like, it's all just saw what they call the smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? Because Eddie Hearn said that, yeah, like, we would like to pursue that David Benavidez fight, but we're not talking like it's gonna happen, anytime soon. I mean, we still got a lot of work to do. So he's acknowledging that Ben Whitaker has a lot of work to do before he gets to that level. But he's just doing what promoters do. You know what I mean? It's a clever promotional tactic that a lot of promoters use, and that's, let's get our guy's profile out there. We want this guy to be a big star, and part of getting their names out there is attaching them to current big names. That's what we see a lot of these guys do nowadays. They got an up and coming prospect that looks like the goods. What do? Like what did Floyd Mayweather do when Carmel Moulton? When he first signed Carmel Moulton, we want him to fight Lee Wood, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I remember, look what Conor Ben's doing. Look what Conor Ben's doing. You talking about you attaching yourself to, Devin Haney, you attach your name to Jerron Ennis, even though you ain't never want to fight him. Like, they like to mention names, act like they want to fight him so people can get to talking about them. And their name grows as a result of that. Because the more you talk about them, the more their profile goes up, right? So I just think that's just a promotional tool. Matchroom and them is using right now to try to build the profile of their guy that they're investing a lot of money into. Ben Whitaker. You know what I mean? He sees a lot of potential in Ben Whitaker to be a big draw in the UK. So he doing what he got to do. Like Schofield, right? Southwest. You know exactly what I'm talking about, brother. Great, good observation. Floyd Schofield, he's another one. Attach his name to Keyshawn, to Shakur, Abdullah Mason, who's literally making a name for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even all the way there yet, but he just won a world title. He attached his name to him, attached his name to Gervonta Davis when he don't have any intentions on fighting any of them dudes. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a promote, that's boxer promoter one-on-one. That's like simple, that's simple little things that they do to get their fighter's name out there. If I have a welterweight, let's say I have a welterweight, right? A 147, then I'm sure that I'm putting money into it, and I think he has potential to be the next biggest star, and I could generate a whole lot of revenue off him. What you think I'm gonna do? I'm mentioning his name with Devin Haney. I'm mentioning his name with Roley. I'm mentioning his name with Ryan. Like, all these top guys that have a name, I'm attaching his name to. Yeah, I think he'll stop Devin in 3 rounds. That'll be highly publicized. That might even get Devin Haney attention. He might respond to it. So now that he's responding to it, that's bringing more attention to my guy's name. Boom, got you. And somebody asked Devin Haney about that statement in the interview. Boom, got you. Now they talking more about my guy. Even if they feel like I'm full of shit, guess what? You still talking about my guy. And in that situation, it doesn't apply to all situations, but in that particular situation, all publicity is good publicity. Whether you agree or disagree with me, you talking about me. My fighter name becomes a trend. And next thing you know, you're going to be watching his next fight because you want to see if he's living up to the shit that I'm talking about him. Right or wrong. That's what these promoters do, man. A lot of the time, these promoters don't believe half the shit they saying. Eddie Hearn says it all the time. He's like, yeah, like, I say these things about these guys, but, Boots, he's truly something special. So, this is pretty much him saying, like, man, I'll just be lying about these niggas, but I really believe in Boots. That's what he be saying. These niggas sell lies. He said, it's like, if I have a heavyweight, I'm attaching his name to Fabio Dubois. Usyk. Facts. Facts. Look what Tito Mercado did on my channel the last time he did an interview. Who he talked shit about? He talked shit about all the motherfuckers who popping. Smart move on his part. You think he just talking shit, but he's doing that intentionally. Richardson Hitchens, Subriel Matias, Shakur. He even talked shit about Abdullah Mason and his 5 brothers, called them the Jackson 5. Who else? He talks shit about a lot of people, bro, but they all big names. He's not talking about anybody who's below him. He's talking about who up there in terms of popularity. Devin Haney, Like, he talked about all of them. And then got people talking. There's people in my comments like, man, that motherfucker Tito, man, I want to see his next fight. Boom, got you. Got you. Can't wait to see his next fight. I think he's not ready. But just by you saying that you're going to see his next fight to see if he's really the goods or not, he won. Boxing needs trash talk. I agree. I've always been fans of trash talking motherfuckers, bro. I love boxers who talk shit and they can back it up. That's why I was a huge fan of Floyd growing up, because I was a shit talker myself. I just think that talking shit just, first of all, for me, talking shit is therapeutic. Anybody that know me, when we be in the gym, I love talking shit. Even if we just joking around, bidding, whatever the case is, you know what I mean? It's cool. It's entertaining. I like it. So when he was Pretty Boy coming up, I enjoyed watching him talk shit. Money May. He started talking shit when he was Money May. But I even enjoyed fucking Deontay Wilder to this day. Like, he be snapping. When Devin Haney gets into it with his opponents, even with Jerron Ennis, all that with Shakur be talking his shit. Even when Berlanga was talking his shit. Rolly Romero. Like that shit is entertaining to me. I like watching that type of stuff. Yeah. Because even if they lose, guess what? It's entertaining because they talked all that shit and they lost, so now we making fun of them. It makes the sport fun. You feel me? And then you give a lot of respect for a motherfucker if they talk that shit and then they whoop your ass. Like when Tyson Fury was talking that greasy shit to Wilder, then he beat Wilder ass in the second and third fight. It's like, all right, well, he talked that shit. Now he walking it. He talked that shit to Vladimir Klitschko. He beat him. Like, even if you're not the biggest, Fury fan, which I'm not, you gotta respect him talking his shit and then backing up his words. Like that nigga Floyd told Arturo Gotti, bro, I'm gonna step on you. I'm gonna crush you. Like, there's nothing you could do. Like I'm gonna fuck you up. What he do? Had one of the best performances of his career. You gotta respect that shit, whether you like him or not. Can't say he be lying. He say he gonna do something and then he do it. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel, man. If y'all could go ahead and hit the likes on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. Like I said, we on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,200 mark. About to hit that 3,300 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. I'll be back at y'all with another live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob. We in the building. I'll be signing out. I'll have a big announcement coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that one. Until then, I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace.